123 of this charismatic French bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, woof, 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 woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water, but thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Apologies there, the lights went out, but the show is still continuing, that's for sure. If I can speak English, that'd be a great start. Anyway, we are into qualifying, that's right. A few technical issues there, but it's not Andrelli's fault, but I was trying to get the commentary cam up and running, let's just see whether it's coming up there. There it is. I didn't think we'd get that. I was trying to adjust my glasses, which are no longer there. But there we go. Andrelli has redeemed the commentary cam, and there I am. No glasses. That's right. Thank you, Dr. Chan, doing wonders down there at the Metternich Laser Clinic. But this is round 2 of the GT3s, and we are in qualifying, of course, split qualifying format. 22-minute session, first 10 minutes for Pro-Am and Am drivers. When the timer hits 12, you have to be home into the pit lane as I welcome the man himself, Jason Wilkinson, or Justin Wisconsin, I think, as he was being called in the US of A. But Jason, good evening to you, back again.
Yes, hello. Yes, we're here for a second night for Imola, and it's sort of a bit of an interesting night too, because we've got the Imola 6 hour for the Endurance Series at the end of the month. So we've got a little form guide for all the boys tonight to sort of see where they are and what they can do to work on the car over the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks and get ready for that 6 hour race. But of course, they are trying to do a very fast time at the moment for qualifying for this KRL round 2 in the GT3s here tonight.
And of course, alongside him, thank you, Wilco, multiple champion as well. The man who can dribble a bowling ball with his eyes closed. I speak of Chuck Norris from Littlehampton in South Australia. Chuck, we are back again, 2 nights of KRL.
Yes, me hearties. I've been plundering the booty for a little bit there with Wilkinson. No, honestly, it's Glad to be back. A little bit sad to be off Sea of Thieves, but nonetheless, though, really looking forward to GT3s tonight. GT2s last night was a really, really good battles all the way through, so hopefully we can continue that here tonight.
Cannot wait. Oh, I'm plundering me booty. Yes, it sounds a little bit strange, but Shawnee Fuller goes to the top of the timing sheets, and we had our little Italian camera director on him, and Psydog says, don't invest any kit coins in me today, because he's not feeling too confident at the moment. That's not how you want to be coming in to tonight, is it, Chuck? There, not really sensing any sort of confidence at all from young Psydog.
Yeah, definitely not, but unfortunately for Psydog, I'm going to be throwing a prediction up with him in it at some point during today, and I'm going to be slapping some more coins on him, because he came in clutch last week. I won quite a bit off of him, and then Wilco stole everything off of me last night, so I got 36k at the start of tonight. I want to keep track of that by the end of the stream.
36k, holy shit.
36K.
I thought I was good with 11.
And I'll take that as Maxi Naked Blade, with thanks to Maxi Naked Blade. The pre-race show, of course, with thanks to that man. Are you on your smoko break again, Maxi? Let us know. And man, this man could be a conductor, couldn't he, Chuck? He just loves getting those hype trains up and about and leaving the station. But Psydog bluffing, says Maxi. And Viper says, I'm going to be battling Simon for 27th. He is on a smoko break, Jason, and that is interesting. Let us know how you are travelling today. He's on a smoko break, so he must be in a different time zone to the eastern states, Wilco.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure where he is, but I know he's almost saw. He's a freaking legend, Mr. Maxi. So, yes, but in terms of back to the qualifying session, we've got some pretty tight stuff going on. We've got Nismo and Stone Tao, pretty much nothing between them down in, well, they've just jumped down to P10 and 11, very close. Matchin just gone up to the top, and he is a very quick driver on the in the endurance series. So him and Nick are teammates. They're first and sixth at the moment. But in terms of that, it's a nice sort of spread throughout the field. Beaky down the back messaged me about 10 minutes ago saying it's all good to join. I said sure. But yeah, it's sort of, we got Spawn seems to be out driving himself in the AM class at the moment, but of course, as the time is just about to click over for their quali session already done, they're all going to finish their lap now.
And that will be the end of it for these guys. And boy, Chuck Norris, if you would mind just looking at the turnout for tonight, or you as well, Wilco, as the VIP Simon says, yeah, I ain't topping that. Maybe I need to be Pro-Am. Yeah, I've got no hair. But
Says
look at
the guy that won last night, yeah.
Exactly. But who needs hair? But look at the turnout, Wilco. KRL alive and well here for season 6. Look at that, 30 plus drivers here tonight.
Yeah, no, looking good, looking promising for the season. We still got a few boys. So yeah, we should definitely have at least 30 every race, which should be good.
Fantastic. If you want to get involved with this racing league, jump into the Discord. And who should we be keeping an eye on now? Please.
Car 54 or 64? I think it's 64, which is Vibesy in the second last corner in now.
Let's have a look in the Mercedes-Benz Endurance teammate in good form. Go, Mark, says Maxi Naked Blade. Hello to you. And he's on night shift up there in Queensland. And we hope you're having a good night up there in good old sunny Queensland. Vibesy across the line. What's it going to be? P8? P8 for the Vibester. And
yeah, we've got a few guys still across the line. So let's go on to number 133. Saint Sim is going to be in the pits. 123, Mr. Norms, JJ Norms.
Here he comes, JJ Norms across the line. Where can he end up on the starting grid? As he has jumped up to 17th. And who else have we got here? No, Exo is not with us. Beaky is running around. This will be his last run. A new livery, of course, Ferrari, but still similar overtones to his life-saving livery. And oh my goodness, there! Look at this. These smoko brakes. Hype train is incoming. Holy mackerel! Can we update that target there? Gee whiz. And they're coming from everywhere. He's given one to Noodles. Who else? Hainsey there. Mac Miller. And in comes Beaky. That was a very... Ooh, looks like he's got some damage there. And Hainsey, there he goes. He's got to get the train moving. Toot, toot. And please, the hype train's at level 2. And if you want to donate, keep doing all those bits and pieces. We've got 4 and a bit minutes left. But who's... As Dusty's...
Pro time now.
It's pro time now. The big boys are coming out to play. 3 sets of tyres only. Is that... no, that's for practice, isn't it, Wilco? What am I... 3 sets of tyres and...
Yeah, 3 sets of tyres for practice, quali and the race tonight. So
yes,
most people will be on their first set for quali. They'll chuck on a new set for the start of the race and probably have a new set for their pit stop during the race. But there was a few guys that did do a few laps in practice, but that wouldn't hurt their tyres too much. So they might be running on those tyres at the moment. But yeah, a few big names again as usual in the pro class. No Matt Simmons tonight, so sorry to break your heart there, Trev. But if you want to end stream, that's completely up to you. But we still got Simon, we still got Willstar, we've got Hainsey, we've got Norm, Noodles, Andrew. So there's still Zest. There's still a lot of guys here that are they're very handy behind the wheel, Trev. But the first car looks like it's going to be Figo to start their lap.
Let's have a look at Figo, and yes, they're not quite Matt Simmons though, but I tell you what, we won't be finishing the stream before Maxi finishes his smoko break, that's for sure. But 8 minutes to go in this session, getting down to the business end, green the flag, says that Italian marshal there up at his marshalling post. As we head down to turn 1, Tamburello, Figo running a little bit wide there, car 20, Lambo. And these Lambos have proved tricky, Chuck Norris, in recent times. We saw at the Glen, they were a very tricky customer, weren't they?
Yeah, the Lambos are quite tricky. They can be good if you can balance them out nicely, but you know, I've only personally ever driven the newer Lambo, the Evo, once, and it's interesting to say the least, but it is a pretty good car.
And difficult, it can bite you, of course, if you're not careful there. Who else have we got? We're looking at Figo at the moment. I think we might be on the man who's sort of at the front of this pack, I think, Wilco. Figo, and then a few others behind him. Not a lot of time remaining, of course. 60 minutes, you know the drill. 1 mandatory pit stop for fuel come race time. 3-minute pre-race timer. And that's a good chance to hear from our sponsors there. We'll have to update that goal, of course, with the subs. Just leave a carrot dangling in front of them there, Chuck. Just go 1 or 2 above where we're at. As Fuller boy, Shawnee Fuller says, we're back. Thank you for that, Shawnee Fuller. And he is always a class act there, Shawnee Fuller, sitting in P3 at the moment, Beamer style. And we'll keep an eye on Figo and then see who else is further down the order. Zest, Distinct Andrew, he is very quick, isn't he, of course, in that BMW. Speaking of the Beamer, as we take a look at Figo now across the line, what's it going to be? Or is he just starting a lap, jumping to the top of the timing sheets? Distinct Andrew up there in second. Nick and they are tumbling now. Noodles across the line. A 41.9 there. Machin still holding that down there at the top of the order. Viper coming in with very American-style livery here in the Porsche, as you can see there. And Zest 1, Hype Train, all-time high as Team Little Bear has... My goodness, look at this! Team Little Bear, and people are disconnecting, we're hearing. Jimbo Jones has let us know, and there's something jumping around on my screen.
No, it's fine. Keep going, all good. We're trying to get one guy in that's not on the entry list, so it's all good. Keep going, everyone's fine.
Everyone's fine. I tell you what, my heart is not fine because the Hype Train is coming in. Team Little Bear gets the subs to the viewers. Just not sure, just had some energy to use there and just had no other way of doing it, but he's in the pits. And where's Jimbo? Jimbo's side org now. This looks like a little Max Verstappen type livery going on here, Chuck Norris, on Sideorg's car, the 222 Ferrari, of course. He's got a traffic thing ahead of him here in Norm, but he's looking very tasty on this lap, if you don't mind.
Yeah, he is looking very, very good at the moment. So a majority of our AM drivers and Pro-Am drivers, I think, are just finishing up their laps. as our pro drivers are almost ready to get going. But Sidorg looking like he's doing quite well at the moment. Oh, the hype train, Trev, it is going.
Holy, what is happening here? And my goodness, my screen is flooded with notifications. And you can see the activity is going off because Josh Green is gifting tier 1 subs. This is incredible. I can put in my 2 weeks notice if this keeps up because Sidorg is across the line. Well done, boys. Excellent subbing there. It is going off, says Maxi. So Josh Green is getting amongst it. So is Maxi Naked Blade. And I've totally lost the plot, Wilco, with what's happening out on the track.
Yeah, I've been trying to sort out stuff behind the scenes. We had a message me at 7 o'clock saying it's all good to race. I said, yep, no worries, but completely forgot he wasn't on the entry list. So the lobby was saying he was full. So he had his brother Vibesy, had Spawn, myself, Kilroy all leave to try and get him back in, but unfortunately it didn't work. So they're all loading back in now. I'll be the last one to be in. So yeah, unfortunately Urban Ghost misses out tonight. But yeah, so I've just been sorting out that. We are back, and yeah, we'll continue on with quali.
We are back, and my goodness me, thank you, Josh Green. Look at that, Beaky, Maxi Naked Blade, Josh Green. It's all going off here at the moment. Unbelievable stuff. And let's have a look, Norm, Noodles. Noodles following Norm here, and a 41.6 for Distinct Andrew at the top of the timing sheets. And look how close, Chuck. Willstar, 0.040 off of pole position.
Yeah, just a fraction of a tenth away from taking Distinct Andrew off a provisional pole position. But you look a little bit further down the order there, Trev, and it's really close with Noodles, Hainsey, Norm. Obviously, Norm's just coming to finish a lap. Shawnee Fuller, Markled, even Zest as well. Dude, this is insane. Not only in the chat with the hype train, but on the track as well. This is all going off at the moment.
Well, this is incredible. Norm, who else are we looking at, please, Wilco? Figo there as well. Who's on a quick lap? You can get bathwater now. I've got to get some bathwater for Josh. Wilco, who's on a quick lap?
I'm just watching. The next car across the line will be Mr. Viper, so down in P18. But fantastic! That should be up the front. I mean, Andrew's the second car across the line, so he's just extended his gap. He's out to 2/10 ahead of Will at the moment. So he's, yeah, of course, our winner from last week, Andrew. He's doing a really good job. But yeah, 41.4 is absolutely rapid.
And there we go. Make sure you go for a run beforehand, says Josh. He wants the authentic vintage collection there, doesn't he? Look at that. And Figo and Distinct Andrew, 41.4. Has he gone even quicker here? Because I've totally lost the plot. 2 minutes to hit level 5. And you can get the bathwater, special barrels of bathwater. That's right, aged for 36 years, if you don't mind. I think Willstar's on it tonight. Maybe a win. Lot of Willstar fans in the chat here tonight. We are going off, and we've got a follower here, Gigo. And I think I've lost something.
What a good line.
Oh, no, that's okay. I can't see what's happening on the stream.
Yeah, I think something's going on with the game, or...
Game's fine on my end.
Is it? That's,
yeah. I think is your net just dropped out?
Hang on, we will be right back.
I think we're all good.
It is freaking out.
Sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. We've got some technical issues. We'll be back in just a few moments. I think we're still on the air. Might be an internet issue, I think.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic!
Bathwater's in the... Anyway, that's Carpet
Well,
Snake.
I'll keep going with the commentary.
Okay,
Should we keep doing that?
Yep, copy.
Okay, so I've got the thing. So I'm watching. We've got 5 seconds left. So Viper is going to be the first car across the line. He is down in P18. So as he crosses the line, and a beautiful livery, by the way, He goes from P18 and goes up to P14. Next is Andrew, who has done a 41.2. He's on first at the moment. He crossed the line. He doesn't improve. Next will be Hainsey. So Figo's in fifth. Hainsey crossed the line in P7. He goes up to P5. Noodles is the next car. And then we've got Simon. So Noodles is in P4. He goes up to... He doesn't improve. He improves his time, but Simon's in the pits. Where's Will? Will's crossed the line. So Will is 200 behind Andrew in P2. He crossed the line and can't improve as well. So the grid order is Andrew, 141.267. 0.023 behind is Willstar. Then Matchin 7/10 behind in P3. So those front two have absolutely gone. Noodles in P4, Hainsey P5, Figo P6, Simon P7, Norm P8, Mark P9, and Shawnee Fuller ran out of the 10. Zest 11th, Spawn in 12th, sorry I'm just getting out of the screen, Kilroy in 13th, Viper in 14th, Sideways in 15th, Nick in 16th, Glasso 17th, Vibesy 18th, Someone Awesome, our reigning champ, in P19. Jimbo, our AM winner from last night, in P20. Then you got Sniper, Nismo, Stone Tower, Craig, Ernie Drongo, Chipper 10, JJ Norm, Stu Wilson, Saint Sim just ran out the top 30. Jackery, Beaky, myself, and Urban Ghost was in, but he has unfortunately disconnected. So Beaky down in P32. Are we back on stream, Trev?
We are back. Yes, don't you worry about that. And no, I just went around and turned all the other Wi-Fi off in the house, so now everybody's going to turn on each other out there. But and I've locked myself in the commentary box, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's all about the stream. It's all about the entertainment for the crowd out there. As old Carpet Snake there, old Snake says, my stream playing up too, and that's okay. Let us know if you can see this. And boy, I just might have got a bit excited there with the old CPU, Chuck Norris. But we are back now, and looks good now. I know you do, Chuck, and so does the stream. But we've got a countdown happening, 3-minute pre-race timer, and 60 minutes of the race ahead of us, and all the other stuff as well. No safety car, but we might go to a quick message from our sponsors, Maxi Naked Blade, Josh Green, and Team Little Bear. They are the big contributors here this evening, but we've got 60 minutes of racing action ahead of us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Season for the GT3 competition now. Look at that, 30 cars.
As we are on lap 123 of this charismatic French Bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home, and he'll be saying, woof, woof, woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because it would quite literally been a fish out of water. But thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Their usual thing and going tits up. But we've got 6 hours. That's right, 6 hours to go here. And we're only on lap
Not
1.
too far away from Immortal Nick, but Immortal Nick right behind Vert Wheeler here. But Vert Wheeler still got to do that mandatory pit stop.
You can see there Vanessa enjoying this. She goes, oh, you're so brilliant and funny. And she absolutely loving that stream over there at 7 a.m. And this guy down there side by side with Random, and then it's Hoot Corp. Look at this down Kemmel Straight, Prince, as the team radio beeps are coming in, flying under the radar. Welcome to you, and it's so close. Is there going to be contact? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. There is nothing else draining my internet tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, and there is nothing that can separate you from watching the next 60 minutes of racing action, action, action. Sorry to repeat myself, but when I do, it just sinks in even more, doesn't it? But we're going to go to a track preview here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Italy, Emilia-Romagna in the north of Italy, close to Bologna, opened in 1953, this circuit, and it all kicks off at Tamburello, turns 2, 3 and 4, and the run down to Villeneuve, and then the Tosa hairpin. This circuit has undergone some changes since opening, of course, for obvious reasons. Piratella, Acqua Minerale, and then a Variante Alta, tough corner to get right. And then the run down to the first of the two Ravazzas there, turns 14 and 15. Thank you to our man, Andrelli. How good is Andrelli, gentlemen? I'll go to you, Chuck Norris. Just graphics, thumbnails, you name it, that man just keeps producing thumbnails like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Trev. You know, we give Andrelli a lot of praise, but, you know, he really does deserve it. There's a lot of work that goes into not only putting together thumbnails and all these track overviews that you guys all see on the stream. So, yeah, there is a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, not only from Wilco, you know, but also Andrelli, and we've got a couple of other people behind the scenes that do a lot of work as well. So all the praise definitely goes to those guys. And
Maxi Naked Blade giving us the race start from Mario Kart. I tell you what, if you're out there still watching on your smoko break, Maxi, try and get the timing. We don't want to run on of these coins though, do we? But try to see if you can get the timing spot on for the race start, is what I'm trying to say, if I can articulate myself here on this warm-up lap. A few marbles there, a bit of discarded rubber off to the side of the circuit. Quick tip, Jason Wilkinson. Will Star, a lot of love for him in the chat, a lot of support behind him for a win tonight. Who are you tipping if you were a betting man? And I know you are.
Anyone in the top 30 cars, I think, can win. So they're paying $1 I'm slapping the house on, Trev.
Yes, Wilco there really sticking his neck out there with that. Thank you for that.
I'll go. I reckon Andrew just sort of has that, the clean run into turn 1. We know how hard to pass here. Unless Will can get the jump, I don't think so. But I think, yeah, if Andrew's in front by turn 1, I think he could be off to the races. But here we go.
As you can see there, we are almost ready to go. Josh says Hainsey's going to win it from P5. That's interesting. Match in there as well, doing very nicely indeed. We're almost ready to go. Get those Mario Kart race start sound effects in. Dude, we are ready. Go, go, go. 30 plus drivers. Machin pulls out from behind Distinct Andrew, heading down into turn 1. Interesting move. Getting on the front foot early as we begin this 60 minutes of action around Imola. And look at this, they get through cleanly. Our race leader maintains the race lead. You can see there, Willstar, zoom, zoom, zoom. And it looks like Machin, or is it Noodles, up into second place. Look at this, the timing charts are going off. That's okay, Chuck Norris's Noodles continues now to apply pressure to Distinct Andrew as they all get away cleanly, at least for the time being. But Willstar third, Machin fourth as well. Hainsey stays in fifth. And this is a hectic start. Have they all got away cleanly? I think there's a yellow flag down the back for something. Stone Towel there, Exo. Shawnee Fuller, Beaky as well. Better late than never. Beaky joining again late tonight. And Shawnee Fuller right at the back there as well, Wilco.
Yes, there's been a couple of little spins. We've also got Stu and JJ Norms have had a moment too. But other than that, Figo's dropped down. He's in P20 now, so he was up in that top 5 or 6 from memory. So something's happened there. Then yeah, the top 7 have sort of stretched away, and then there's Viper about 2 seconds behind in P8. So I think something around that P7, 8, 9 mark has skittled Figo around and left a little bit of a gap. But other than that, Noodles has jumped up to second, as you said. Willstar in third, so Andrew is in the lead.
So Andrew in the lead now, of course, and you can see.
Sorry to just cut in, Wilco. I see on the track map there is somebody glitching in front of the last running car, glitching from there into pit lane and then back onto the track again. So can you just double check that one? Sorry, Trev.
That's okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's Ernie Drongo.
And let's have a look. I think
And he's
Ernie.
gone. He's left.
Ernie has.
Yeah,
Where
he's
is
left the
Ernie?
building. He's gone.
There he
Oh
is.
no, he's back. I think he's really lagging out hardcore.
Well, it must be one of those nights, I reckon. But 30 plus drivers, we might have lost Ernie Drongo. I think he's disappeared. But we'll head back to the front now. Distinct Andrew, 1.2 seconds, Chuck Norris in the lead. And you can see there at the BMW, very quick, this man, Distinct Andrew, of course. There's people messaging me, can you please not do that? But I have been here since it started, Cam. LOL, says Drex. Now he decides to stick his neck out, but we'll start pressuring Noodles. And I tell you what, 2 minutes. It's going to take more than 2 minutes to get this job done on 2 Minute Noodles, isn't it, Chuck Norris here from Wilster?
Yeah, absolutely. So Noodles, instead of being those 2 minute chicken noodles, needs to turn himself into some McGoreng and catch up to Andrew there. But honestly, the McLaren, out of the cars running at the front at the moment, the McLaren's probably going to struggle the most, especially at this chicane here, as you see there. Making a bit of a mistake. The sausages just destroy the flat earth of the McLaren, where the BMW, the Astons, those types of cars can just eat the curb and just almost roll over them with no dramas. But yeah, Noodles, he's doing the best he can. Will Star managed to obviously get past from that mistake, but the battle's going. It's only lap 1 or lap 2 out of the way now.
Into lap 2 now, 56 minutes to go of this 1 hour race. There's Noodles. Hainsey, I think it might have been Green Dog, Josh Green, who predicted the Hainsey victory. And then there's Drex, who says, Cam keeps getting called Chuck. That's right. It's a thing we have. I've just replied back to Drex there, but let's not get into Noodles, the clip from Japan. I think that might have been when I was trying to eat noodles in the traditional sashimi way. And it ended up being very strange indeed. But we've got a yellow flag there. I think someone has come a cropper. And there's some dirt getting kicked up there. What's going on there? Chipperton. And someone is off there. And it might be Ernie Dingo. Is he back out onto the circuit?
He is. I messaged him, but he was, I couldn't even actually view him. But it was actually Jacker at a moment. But yeah, Ernie's spun now and got a drive-through stop-go penalty. So hopefully, his internet's a bit of an issue at the moment. So hopefully he does jump out of the server and doesn't cause any issues. But yeah, other than that, that gap between Simon and Viper's sort of sitting there about 3 seconds now. So that's sort of starting to sort of spread about. So those top 7 are sort of starting to pull away now. Other than that, Zest has jumped up a few positions. He's going to have a go at Spawn into this last corner. Not quite. Spawn's just run wide. So there you go. So up through. Nick dies at the inside there. Bit opportunistic, but he got through. So Spawn's lost a couple of places there with that little mistake.
Well, Drex there saying, I remember Cam in the Ferrari 24 at Kyalami. Oh, Spawn, how good is he going as well? Don't you mind? He's having a look here at Nick. And Nick will be a little bit disappointed so far. Good times, says Chuck Norris. Good times, great music. Yeah, that's right. Hit 96.9, the pulse of the valleys. That's a bit of a throwback there. But Kyalami, Luke Addison's chat kept calling you Chuck Norris. So it's not just us that keep calling you Chuck. It's a bit of a thing happening in the sim racing world.
Chuck, and then Chuck, woodchuck, well, Chuck.
oh,
Yeah,
very funny.
Yeah, it's a weird one. We did a Kyalami 24 a good few months ago, and we were going up a big amount of esports drivers. I think, the Jardia and stuff like that were in there too, but because most Europeans will see C. Norris, they just assume my name is Chuck. So I remember going back and having a chat to Luke, and yeah, everyone was just calling me Chuck Norris the entire time. It was, good times.
Fantastic stuff. C. Norris. It's amazing how you get Chuck and not Lando Norris, but I guess because C for Cam.
Well, Chuck's a winner and Lando's not, so there you go.
I think we've won the same amount of Formula One races, haven't we, as Lando? So there we go. But this is getting serious. Can we get serious, please, Chuck? Because Sidorg and Norm are looking to make a move. In fact, Sidorg, I should say, is looking to make a move here.
Got a big slipstream.
What will he be thinking under that Kiwi head of his?
Oh, I'm going to send it into turn 1 up the inside, but I'm too much of a butch, so I won't do it.
Oh, a little bit of a bitch, hey! A big hello to everybody in New Zealand eating fish and chips tonight, because this man, you say that you can't just do him like that, because he's a wily old customer and old wispy Sidorg. Oh, look at that, a bit of a mistake from Norm. Enough of my shenanigans, because he's got the move done into the Tosa hairpin, and Norm just under pressure, making an unforced error there on his behalf, Chuck, and now Simon is through.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there, and Simon managing to wiggle his way through. But, you know, my answer to your question a little bit ago would have been Simon's probably wondering, when's a bet going to be thrown out with me in it? And that's actually a really good question, because I'm not too far away from wanting to do it, because I want to win back all my channel points I lost to Wilco last night. So he's on a mission. He's doing really good. He said he was not really going to get a good result out of tonight. But, you know, sometimes when you think you're not going to get a good result, you do end up actually racing a little bit better. So not too far up the road, as you can see, matching, and then obviously everyone else.
Thanks for your support, everybody. I'm getting distracted again with Josh Green, who says Sidorg isn't bald. He is running the solar panel for a SEX machine. Good. Well, that's sort of something we would say, but I think this Josh Green character's really coming to the fore. Sidorg is that's right. Can we pin that comment, please? Yes, we have Josh Green. There we go. And I think I've pinned it, if I've done that right. But there is Simon, your man, the bald solar panel sex machine that he is, all the way from New Zealand. He is absolutely killing it. And at this rate, Jason, I would not be counting him out for anything at the moment with 50 minutes left. Anything possible with this man.
No, I was just watching Jimbo just mow some grass there.
Jim's mowing.
Yeah, it might be Jim's panel beating too, because I think he hit someone on the way through. I'm not sure who it was. Might have been... Oh, I don't even know. Oh no, Fargo's letting people back through, or he's quitting.
And what's Figo doing? He's not doing that slowing down thing, is he? Look at this. What's he doing?
No, he was actually he was redressing. I think, yeah, he's got back going, so I think he was redressing. Or accidentally hit his pit lane, sorry, his ignition, I'm not sure, but he's let Jimbo back through. So maybe I missed the end of that. I might have a look at the replay.
Let's just keep an eye on that. Wilco all across the replay. Someone awesome. And then Nismo Nath, the boss of Hooncorp Esports. And very kind with his time, Chuck, this man, of course. You can see there, and he's doing very nicely indeed. Podium position in his class, but Distinct Andrew at the front. We're going to go right through the order there. And Drex and Josh Green right amongst it there. Distinct Andrew, Will Star, just a second further back here. And it's really compressing up, isn't it, as Noodles there. A couple of seconds further back, Hainsey, many people's tip for the win tonight. And you can see there in the McLaren. And then it's Matchin in the Porky Yorkie. And Sidorg, I don't know about you, Chuck, but anything is possible when you're a bald sex panel, because this man is showing some great pace at the moment. A little bit twitchy there, though, out of the hairpin.
Yeah, he is actually doing really, really good. I'm quite impressed. You know, the Ferrari, I've been personally getting used to it over the last little bit, and a really, really quick car when you set it up correctly. So he's doing well, 2.5 seconds, so we'll have to keep an eye on that gap to match him there. But the gap at the front, Trev, to Distinct Andrew, Will Star lost about 0.2, but he did steal the purple lap for Andrew.
So Will Star still with the quickest lap. Thank you, Chuck Norris. Man who just goes out and Starts bloody digging up his front yard, and next thing, you know, oh, and there's an incident there, and that is what is happening there. Glasso's involved. In fact, Glasso trying to get out of the way. What's happened there? Who is involved in that?
Viper. Viper's around.
Is it Viper? They're going back down the field. And
I will have a look at some streams and see.
And Crago there, Stone Tower. We'll have a look. Wilco's going to get back and get back to us on that one. But just happening at the very anti-Rivazzi, very anti-Alta, I should say. That's a funny corner, that one. We saw the GT2s. They were bouncing over those Italian sausages like nothing, like nobody's business. But tonight, these GT3s, different ball game, Chuck, when it comes to those sausages.
Yeah, absolutely. So the GT2s, as some people might have seen in last night's stream. If you didn't see it, definitely go back in and give it a watch. It was a great broadcast last night. But the GT2s eat the curbs. The big yellow sausage strips that you see on the inside of the curbs around here, the GT2s just destroy them like they're nothing. But the GT3s, depending on how you set the car up, if your suspension is too stiff, you're gonna have a rough time going over those curbs. But there's a couple of cars I would probably list off, say the Lambo, McLaren definitely, even the Porker struggle on those curbs here, or on the sausages here, so you definitely got to soften the suspension and open up those bump stop rates to allow the car to go over it smoothly. But Zest looks like he's parked on the side of the track. We've seen for a little bit now, and he's returned back to the garage, so hopefully that's not day done for him. But yeah, that image definitely holding him back.
You can see Zest in the pit lane there, and you can see his race engineer in front of him, or a marshal. You can see looking at that car in the pit lane. That's a blue car, says that Italian marshal there in the pit lane. But there we go. I think that's his race engineer. We'll get back to the on-track stuff. Viper, I think, was involved in that. And you can tell by the front of that Porker that that's been into something that it shouldn't have been into, and I'm thinking it might have been a wall or some sausage curves. But look at the front of that car. In fact, he's in the pits along with Nick. And Wilco checking out the replays at the moment. But Wilco, we can see the damage to the front of that 56 Porky.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage to the front of that Porker, and you know that bump on the entry to Imola here for pit lane, as you saw Viper just absolutely yeeting it into pit lane. And if you're not careful, that curb will actually kind of allow you to carry more speed into pit lane, and you won't stop the car. So making sure that you slow down just enough so that the car kind of goes over that entry bump smoothly allows you to not speed into pit lane and get some penalties. So fingers crossed though, Trev and Wilco, that we don't see anybody getting any penalties going into pit lane, although it's a short pit time here. We definitely don't like to see those kind of penalties.
And Kilroy, Spawn, Kilroy and Glasso, look at this. And three, they're all in a class of their own, of course. And Drex just telling us, leave it to Cam. He knows all about the pit entry here. And Cam has just responded with the walls. They really scare me. You know a thing or two about the pit lane around the Enzo Dino Ferrari circuit, we're hearing from Drex.
Yeah, I've got a really funny clip I could probably dig out somewhere where I'm fair sure Wilco was there, where I was gambling the pit lane entry, and on one occasion gambling the pit lane entry, I got a little bit too close to the barrier, and it actually popped up on, not on the obviously in pit lane, but on the opposite side where we normally race. I had the pit board pop up, warning you to slow down kind of thing. So I remember gambling that for one more lap, and then I was like, oh, let's give it one more go. And I did it. I hit the bump that I spoke about on the pit lane entry, and I went straight into the wall.
And it seems...
Oh, there's the clip.
He says trying to find it. In fact, he has found it. The face clipped by the Drexler himself. And let us know, Drex, if you find that Suzuka clip as well from the ramen clip that you were talking about as well. And Andrew, 1.7, we were trying to demonstrate how the Japanese have a passion for their noodles and the slurping. It's very traditional, but if you're just joining us, you might be thinking, what on earth are they talking about? But Distinct Andrew leads this race, but Will Star is not giving much away. And boy, oh boy, people like sending me messages. I'm also Josh Green. This is what I do on Night Shift Smoker. Oh my goodness! You're not going to believe this, Chuck. Josh Green has sent a message through to us here 3 minutes ago, and he has got KRL up on the big screen at Smoko time, if you don't mind, in his workplace. And can we hang on a second? Let me just, I'll try and get a picture of this. I'm not sure whether I can do that or not, but I'll try and get a picture of it for you very, very shortly. But we'll get back to the racing here, Chuck, while I try and get a picture of this. And thank you for sending that through there, Josh Green. And but we are on lap 10 of this race. Is it too early, Chuck, to start talking about strategy here?
Yeah, so I mean, I talk about it every week. My pit window that I love is, you know, that 35-minute remaining down to that 25-minute remaining. I feel like that's a great pit window in 25-minute races. As we've got the screenshot up on the broadcast there through the commentary cam. Looks great having us up on the big screen there. But Andrew, I just noticed as well, as taking back the purple lap off of Wheelstar dropping back a little bit. So Andrew looks like he's showing quite some good pace at the moment.
Great work. Keep those comments coming in, the DMs and all the rest of it. That is thank you to Josh Green, of course. Everybody, the hype train got up and about, that's for sure. But distinct Andrew leads. Willstar in second, Noodles in third, Hainsey. It's spreading out a bit here. But that's the beauty of multiple classes of racing, Chuck. You get battles right through everywhere, don't you? Spawn leads his class, and then Kilroy there behind him. Glasso as well, second in line to the throne in his class there. Glasso, Variante Alta negotiating that. You can see there's someone awesome right behind. I'm supposed to be doing online school, but this is much better, says Strex. Get into my DMs. Get in my sack. Get in it. It's getting better, isn't it? I've been working on that. But no, 40 minutes to go. And boy, let's have a look at this. Predictions have started. And Jason Wilkinson, the predictions are starting. Is it too early to talk pit lane? But someone awesome and sideways here. Very close. Ferrari v Ferrari.
Yeah, not like in the next 5 minutes, maybe next 3. Probably want to start making the pit stop, but I did get to the bottom of what happened. It looks like I went on to Nick's stream because he was one of the cars involved. It looked like Zest made a whoopsie, and bopped a Viper into the chicane and sort of spun around. Unfortunately in the middle of the. And then you had Nick and a couple others sort of come through the chicane and have nowhere to go. So Nick had some damage from that. There was someone else, but I didn't see as I pick up. And looks like Zest has sort of removed himself from the race. I'm sure he will send a message saying I'm really sorry, because I've only seen from Nick's footage, and Zest was behind going into the chicane, and as Nick's appeared at the chicane, Zest and Viper were in front of him. So I think Zest might have sort of just spun him around there, which is not ideal.
Sorry to jump in. We've got a confirmation. We had a message just as you were talking about that, Wilco, into the Discord from Zest himself. He said, no steering wheel and pedals. Went to press the save replay button, but accidentally pressed the PS button instead of my wheel. Or instead, my steering wheel input stuck and started riding the wall down the start finish. He says, sorry if I scared anyone.
Yeah, well, I think he might have been saving the replay of the incident then, because it was into that back chicane there where the incident happened. So yeah, but it's unfortunate, and unfortunately that sort of wrecked Viper's Viper's race too. But yeah, we'll have a look at the stewards' room and we'll see what penalties apply after. But it looks like Andrew's starting to stretch his leg.
There we go. So you can see he will get protection as usual, and that's the way it goes. We'll have a chat later. Chuck Norris shall take it. Who will pit first? A prediction is running. 3 minutes left. Who will pit first, Andrew or Psydog? Is there any way we cannot get Psydog involved? He's just got that sort of prediction channel point thing about him, doesn't he? despite being, what was he, a bald solar panel or something before, but which he's charging up, of course, for his New Zealand sort of powers there, his sexual powers. But enough about that. Mrs. B will be knocking on the door saying, why on earth are you talking about that, you silly little ragamuffin? But 38 minutes remaining, 12 laps completed, and distinct...
What's that, ragamuffin?
And Will Star, and he's gonna Craigo EO is in the pit lane there, but Will Star is, what can he answer back with here, Jason? Because is it a matter of just holding back and protecting his tyres? They gap out to 2.5. What would you be doing if you're in Will Star's shoes at the moment here, approaching half race distance?
I would probably be shitting myself thinking, oh my god, I'm only 2 seconds behind Andrew, and probably crash into a wall, catch on fire, and close game and go play Sea of Thieves. That's probably would be my thoughts at the moment. But Will's obviously a lot better driver than me, and he's just going to try and keep chipping away, try and keep the gap as close as he can, and then hope that he can make it up in the pit stop process.
There you have it. That is from a multiple champion, of course, and a man who takes victories here at Imola like you wouldn't believe. Hello to you, Madiford.
Oh, yes.
J-Mad's out there. Who could forget that? That video of the Imola pit lane. Yes, boy, that was a moment and a half, wasn't it? LOL, Josh Green. But Josh, we don't know whether Josh really wanted his entire workplace being shown off to the world, but should have really got permission there, shouldn't I? But into the DMs, you know, it's always a risk with me. But and wouldn't want it. But he says he wouldn't want to watch it any
what
other way.
DMs are you getting then?
So, there we go. And there's not many times. I tell you what, that's how important Josh Green is to me. Someone who DMs me and gets on webcam that quickly. Am I going to come into an alternative universe? You'd be a father for pulling out. Okay, that's okay there, but geez, I just started reading that without even thinking about it. But Will Star, now that gap is increasing, and as Murray Walker used to say on the old F1 games, the gap is increasing. And look at that, 14 laps completed. Will Star 3.2 back. Noodles. And the sound of those Italian horses. How do those 700 Italian horses sound, Chuck?
No, they're only about 500 tonight. Hey, pasta. Hey, pasta.
Pasta. And
someone
Hainsey.
tuning into the stream right now.
And then when the engine blows up, it's like, pasta.
As matched there, absolute insanity there. Not Linsanity, but insanity. Of course, Chris Lynn from the Brisbane Heat. Might even be the Adelaide Strikers now, but Sideorg there in the 2 for 22 car. And Ferrari, this is the highest that a Ferrari is in the race, gentlemen. And we've seen some particular circuits, Chuck Norris, where Ferraris have dominated, but not on this occasion. It's, what do we got, 5 in the top 6 different constructors here.
Yeah, this is really good to see. This is what we love. You know, obviously, for those that might be new to the series, we run LFM BOP for the GT3s. We don't have that data for the GT2s, unfortunately, but thankfully, GT3s, we've got that data, which, if you don't really know what BOP is, it's called balance of performance. And essentially, we can add or remove weight from the car. And realistic terms, all that means is we have all the cars on an even playing field. It's based on your skill at that point for how you can get the lap time out of it.
And that is a terrific explanation from the one, the only Chuck Norris. And Drex says no, the prediction is closed. As I clicked bet, and here's Kilroy and Spawn, if you don't mind. 38% to Sideorg, 62% to Andrew. Hello to everybody in Queensland up there doing a night shift, and hope you're watching this terrifically well. Hope you've restocked the work fridge with milk, because there's nothing worse than that. But big hello out there. And Josh put us up on the big screen, and we absolutely love it. 38% to Sideorg, 62% to Andrew. saying that he is going to pit first. That's interesting indeed. But Kilroy and Spawn, how good is Spawn going, Jason? And Kilroy is around, bang, into the wall at the Villeneuve corner. And how's he going to get back on here? There's some traffic coming his way as well, isn't there, Wilco? So he's going to have to be so careful here.
Yeah, no, he's done well. Most people would have just backed straight onto the racing line there and taken out a few. Kilroy being a very experienced KRL driver has, just backed off just on the outside of the track, done a 3-point turn and got going again. So might not have too much damage, but luckily for him, he hasn't done his pistol yet. So he's still going to have to pit anyway, take that extra 10-15 seconds to get that damage fixed and carry on.
Well, lucky for him, it happened at a very sort of awkward speed, didn't it? He didn't sort of go in there like we've seen some drivers go into that wall in the past. But 32 minutes remaining in this race. This race is flying by. That's a significant amount of damage there for Kilroy. But we might get through some of these drivers and give them their stream time for their sponsors. And Glasso, how are you seeing Glasso second in his class? He's doing very well here, isn't he, Jason? Tonight he was there last night as well, but tonight doing very nicely.
Yes, another driver out of the Wilco. What is it? What am I calling it? Wilco Driving Academy.
You don't even know what your own driving academy is called.
Well, Trev throws different names and gives out free lessons. So I forget what I'm doing, but yeah, Glass is one of the guys, and Spawn. Two of the guys I've worked with in the last sort of 6 months doing a driver coaching session. So if you want to do some driver coaching with me, shoot me a DM.
Shoot him a DM. The Wilkinson Academy of National Driving. Oh, and Glasso, just as I talk about
part of the plan.
That's just about. And,
but he saved it from spinning, so that's part of the coach.
But look at this.
We don't teach you how to leave the door open. Sideways Polka is another guy I have actually done coaching with, so we've got about 4 or 5 of them in here tonight. So then, yeah, perfect pass by Sideways there.
And how many Jason Wilkinsons are out there tonight? Let me tell you.
I'll quickly tell you, we've got Spawn, we've got Sideways, we've got Glasso, got Kilroy, got Saint Sim, Drew Wilson. I've done a little bit with Jimbo. So yeah, we've got a few. We're looking good.
And we need to do something, don't we, Chuck? And open up a commentary academy.
Well, that's worth your bang for your buck.
There we go. We'll get back to a name shortly, but approaching half the race here. 27 degrees track temperature and 25 degrees air temperature. A little bit cooler than yesterday. And what time are we running in the game? I think
6 p.m. So it'll be about 6:30 p.m. in the morning.
So 6:30 p.m. Italian time, and Sideways ducking in to the pits. And is that someone awesome in there as well? So we're seeing some pit stop action here at the halfway mark. But
smack way. Ready? 10 seconds to get Chris Gale telling us it's half the race. Go on, half.
Wait for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Universal Prince.
Up the big corner.
Universal Boss, I mean. We're halfway through, keep it up. I don't think he has any issues in that department, the big Universal Boss. But Glasso there. That's what I said last night. I wanted to play a city shot going be here talking to you. And that's an action replay of Glasso. Boy, the Academy. Oh, Jimbo. Jim's mowing is back. Or could it be Glasso mowing? They are both competing heavily, Chuck Norris, for the mowing contracts here at this circuit, because they've both been off in recent times. But Jimbo all over him, and another byproduct of Jay Wadar, the Jason Wilkinson Driver Academy here. It's coming to the fore here. Probably more of the shortcomings, if anything, from the Academy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There's some,
get off the stream, get off the stream.
There's some room to work. Oh. And what's happening there? Someone wants to sign up for commentary while driving Academy. Chuck, is that a possibility, Chuck Norris?
Oh, I'm very sure.
That's out of the Voodoo Academy there, driving and commentating. This is called streaming, isn't it?
We can work something out, but I just want to feast your eyes. Remember that prediction that we talked about?
Oh, Andrew's actually already in, so bang.
Yeah, so Andrew was actually in first, but Sidorg is technically still in pit lane too. So because, you know...
Oh, no.
I'm just going to
Andrew's the leader. He went in the
No, as far as I'm concerned, Sidorg
It's a
actually
tie.
went into the pit lane first, but yeah, no, looks like Sidorg telling me not to put any more bets on him. He's been secretly listening to the stream and he screwed me over. So Sidorg, I'm coming for you.
Yes, we've got a little bit of controversy there. The boys get a little bit testy with each other, that's for sure. We love some drama. Could we get a new Netflix series in place? So Knox Parker there says I'd sign up for the Commentators While Driving Academy. We've got, I think we've got a name for it now. We've got the Commentators United National Commentary Academy. And we'll get back to that in a moment. What the hell was I just... what the hell?
I'm trying to work out the acronyms for that. I think you're just talking gibberish.
I'm not sure where I was going with that, but we'll just get back to Nismo. And what's Nismo doing there? Whereabouts is Nismo there? He's come into the pits. He's 3 laps down now, and he's getting very, very sideways there. And that is not... I'm not talking about sideways polka. And there is Nismo, the boss of Hooncorp. He's, well, he's just 4 laps down. I think we've lost a couple of drivers here as well, but he's right down the back there with Jason Wilkinson at the moment. Chuck, not having a good night.
Yeah, he's having a very unfortunate run, as I think we just lost our last place runner there, so Nismo's now officially our last place runner. But yeah, very unfortunate for Nismo. I think, you know, it's not a result we're used to seeing from him. So maybe he's just struggled kind of putting the setup together, or maybe it's just not his track or his night. You know, we all have those moments. So hopefully he can still make the checkered flag, which I have full faith he will. And hopefully he can pick up a result that he'll be happy with next week.
Well, they don't call him the boss of Hooncorp for nothing. They're finally home. What have I missed? Rolls off the tongue, says Knox Parker. Well, what have you missed, Matt Simmons? And given the fact that it is Matt Simmons, Jason,
Ooh,
I might
Andrew just gets in front of
where
Willstar there, so that Willstar's closed the gap up on that in that pit lane procedure.
And I was about to say hello to Matt Simmons there, and he's just collecting the mail at the moment, putting the keys away and the milk and bread in the fridge. And then Hank will be up there for a pat, no doubt about that. But speaking of what you've missed at Matt Simmons, Wilco, if we can get you to do one of those famous 60-second race reviews of yours, that would be fantastic for Matt Simmons, who's just walked through the doors. Just imagine what the house must look like for someone who's won the GT Academy. I'll keep thinking about that, Wilco, whilst you give us your race review for Matt Simmons.
Well, I can tell you, I've been at Matt's house. He's got a nice Nissan GTR just in the front living room there. He's got a photo of you in the corner, and there's actually a dartboard, by the way. He just doesn't like the way you always talk about him and Hank and his bowel movements and all the extra things you go on about. But no, 6 seconds. Trev was upset when he found out you weren't racing tonight, Matt. So Trev spent the first 20 minutes of the stream crying. In that same time, Andrew got pole and is leading at the moment. Will's gone with him. But yeah, it's 1.7 seconds, so Will has closed the gap. It was about 4 seconds pit stop, so he just gets blocked by one of the cars there. Noodles is sitting in third, sort of by himself. Then you got Hainsey, sort of by himself. And then you got Simon and Matchin sort of behind them. But other than that, looking pretty good for the last 24 minutes.
And there you have it, 24 minutes to go. Now you're completely up to date, Matt Simmons. How good is that? And it's true, I'm not even going to admit it anymore. I cried. So what? I don't care. I'm a sensitive new age commentator guy, or a snag. And as Mark there has a moment through the Aqua Minerale there, and 24 minutes remaining. Thank you to Matt Simmons. And probably just took the private jet out, that Gran Turismo jet. Oh, Mark has got a little bit fidgety there. And boy, every time we go on the camera there, but what do we got? Stewie Wilson.
Noodles is in.
And Noodles is in. Solid race report. Wilco, a few misleading facts there, but not too bad. All in all, Matt Simmons very happy with that. And you just imagine him sitting there at his cafe. I wonder if he has a cafe, maybe, that's sort of a Gran Turismo thing, isn't it? And maybe sort of he gets home and he's just got a few new cafe challenges or a few new recipe cards or whatever. You know how the game works. But I'm sure that if you could send us a picture of your house, that would be terrific. Do you reckon does he know my secret hidden agenda there? See, that'll be around for lunch. But Matchin into the pits along with Noodles, both into the pits, Chuck Norris, as we speak with our very mouth here at the moment. They're both in.
Yeah, so our temporary P1 and P2 have come into pit lane, got their mandatory stops done. So just quick friendly reminder as well in terms of our pit stops here tonight. So we do have a 25-second fixed time for fuel. If you do want to take tyres, that's going to be an extra 5 seconds onto your time. So we did see during the GT2s last night, I believe it was Sidorg gambled not taking tyres during the stop, I think it was, and managed to walk away with a win. So it's going to be interesting to see what some of these guys have done here tonight, whether they're going to gamble not taking tyres, or whether they're going to take tyres and think they can make up more than that 5 seconds they'll lose.
You know what? I honestly, I still cannot believe that we are dealing with the Matt Simmons. It still blows my mind. I got to be honest.
It's been a year, Trev, surely.
And, yeah, I know it's been a little while, but it's just incredible. What a world we live in. We have the Matt Simmons with us. But anyway, Glasso with a drive-through. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Was it a track limits thing? Because that happened before he was in the pit lane, fellas.
Yeah, and he was second in class 2, and he's going to drop to 3rd. And probably 4th in class. He's probably going to drop behind Jimbo. So a bit of heartbreak there for Glass. Done well tonight.
Well, the opposite of a broken heart is a heart that's not as broken. But that's going to be devastating for him, because that's going to put him right back into the pack. Where is he going to come out here, Glasso? Must be very,
just
very
behind,
slow.
Saint Sim, I think. Yeah, it is.
And
Saint Sim.
there is Saint Sim. No one take the purple lap off Andrew. I want to steal 3K off of Wilco. He's down at the moment. Don't chase your losses, Chuck, because that's the worst thing you can do.
Ooh, Simon and Hainsey having a good battle here. Simon's got some fresh tyres and he's put some pace into this Ferrari here.
And now,
does he have enough slipstream?
Can you please tell Matt Simmons there in the chat what we heard Sidor called earlier this evening?
What was it again? It was Greeny called him what was it? He's not bald, he's just a solar panel for his sex. Is that it? Something like that.
Cut out there, you cut out right on the punchline. But basically,
Sidor,
Simon Bishop, this man ahead of us is basically a bald solar panel, a sex machine. I think that's what it was. But 20 minutes remaining. Matt Simmons is going to be thinking, Simon, no! No! He's managed to keep it together and collect it up, because that's not how he does it. And what about last night having a chat with us? It's like, how do you talk? How do you talk? I think I butchered that one as well, Matt, but if you're out there listening, and I know you are, no doubt about that whatsoever. Sidorg isn't bald. He is running the solar panel for a sex machine. Mrs. B's going to be tapping on the door in a second, because I've said that naughty word a few too many times. But lap number 22. And
that's the word.
Bald. And sounds like the stall. The stall warning in a plane. And Simon Bishop could fly me any day if I were a plane, that's for sure. The bald solar panel that he is. And boy, that's going to stick, isn't it? But what about when we had a chat with him, Matt, just for a bit of background, and we said, I wonder what it's like how we talk like this. I wonder what it's like if they talk like that, mate. And didn't Simon just give us a very interesting Australian accent?
Yeah, he said, all I do is struth, how you going, and something else, I think.
G'day, how you going? I'm Simon Bishop, talking like an Aussie. G'day. And there we go, 23 laps completed, and distinct Andrew raking up some
Trev, Okay, so this is where I've got to like live
Right.
moderate Trev for
No,
a
no,
minute. So
I
Trev's
was-
been banned from commentary for the next
It
30
was-
seconds. So
I was-
anyway, everyone
oh.
didn't hear that. Sidorg
No, I mean-
doing well. Andrew on an absolute mission,
Raking
destroying
in the lapped
field.
cars was what he's trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. So Trev's now been unbanned. He can now talk.
And I do apologise there. Of course, in the world of live race sim commentary, the words, they're sort of in my brain, and then when they go to my mouth, they don't always quite come out the way I would have liked them to. Oh, it's embarrassing. I'm so sorry. Directly cancelled. Sorry about that. I meant he was raking in the left cars. That's at least how it sounded in my brain in rehearsal. Didn't quite happen once we had lights, camera, action. But Distinct Andrew now still leads. It's handy, but it's not home by any stretch of the imagination. It's still 2.1. It's less than 2 seconds now. And Team Little Bear wants to know what the heck is happening in the booth. Wouldn't we like to know as well? And once we find out, or once I find out what's happening in my brain, I'll let you know. And Matty Simmons says, "Oh no, Trev!" And please, just can you please?
Fast slap.
Ooh, Will Star. And I reckon that this is going to chuck Voodoo's predictions up to the Scheisenhausen. And we've got some issues. Don't tell the FIA. But let me tell you, you might have to cover Hank's ears up because the words are just coming out. All sorts of willy-nilly stuff there, but 17 minutes to go. Where's the race gone, Chuck? It's gone again.
Yeah, these races, they're just absolutely going past. I don't know whether it's because we're getting so inclined to, you know, the 6-hour races that we do, Trev, for the endurance series. So these 60-minute ones don't feel as long, but you know, not gonna lie, these 60-minute ones, they pack a really good punch. Lots of great battles all the way through the grid. Although we don't cover a lot of it that goes on, there is plenty of great moves and racing that's going on throughout the grid. But while I talk about that, we've got a couple of good close battles. Obviously, Willstein pouring onto the back of Andrew slowly, but Sidorg as well, under a second from Hainsey, someone awesome, and Spawn. You've also got Shawnee Fuller and Polka, Markle, Kilroy, and Figo are actually really, really close, as well as Sniper, Chipperton, and Vibes.
And look at that. Mrs. B has jumped in. She must have heard what was going on, and now she's in to moderate this chat. Hello to you, Mrs. B. Ooh,
Turn the internet off, Koyama.
Yeah, can you please, whatever you do, just to keep Taylor's iPad going. That's for sure. We don't want ABC Kids to drop out. And she's got no words. Oh, you're wordless, Trevi. That'd be the first time. And Matty,
for you tonight, Trev.
and Matty Boy there is joining us as well. But Mrs. B, as Nismo, the boss, says one of those days, hard luck will come to an end. And yes, your luck will turn around soon. And if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all, as the great Murray Walker would say. But Sidorg now, good idea, says Matt Simmons saying good idea. And Mrs. B, geez, I never thought these two would be in the same chat together. Wow, this is a little bit awkward. And Simon's on screen as well. Which way do I turn, Chuck Norris?
Well, I mean, you know...
You're laughing again, but 15 minutes, there we go. You're giving us, thought he was going to give us something, but there's someone awesome in the #1 Ferrari. And in this part of the world, in Italy, we call that numero uno, which means number one. Oh, and Beaky is having a moment there. What the heck, says Mrs. B, because I'm just as surprised as you are, Mrs. B, that Beaky is off. And don't you reckon, Mrs. B, that looks like a life-saving type, a lifesaver, what am I trying to say, colour scheme on that car, and Beaky there again.
You're digging the hole, mate, you can feel it.
Oh yeah, all right, Tony. And Beaky off again. Wow, he's really carving up some Italian grass tonight.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling, but I think you were looking for a, what did we say last night? His livery, he doesn't have the white on it, or the, we did say last night that his livery, I think that's what we went with, but yeah, just to get back to the front, these boys are trade fast lap, so I had the fastest lap, Andrew took it off him, Will's taking it back off him, So it makes the race a bit interesting. We've got a bit of virtual money on it. So Will Stars are currently giving me points.
And you can see these battles are continuing. Distinct Andrew here leads this race. 13 minutes to go. There was a yellow flag out for something as we go through the Acqua Minerale. And that means water in Italian. I've been reliably informed as who let the chaos, who let the dogs out? No, Matty saying who let chaos into the booth tonight? And that's a very good question. And Matty Simmons says, you've almost dug your way through to China, keep going. And I'm not too far off of that. I've only got 13 minutes left here to keep digging all the way to Szechuan. And I'm doing a very good job of it. But Distinct Andrew, he's in a traffic jam here at the moment. It looks like I'm down Bridge Street here in Benalla on a school run, because look at this. Look at the traffic in front of him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, Chuck. And Willstar only 2 seconds behind him. They've got to get out of the way, surely.
Yeah, this is a really tricky situation for all of them involved. So obviously the leader wants to come through, but they're all fighting for position technically on the track.
There we go. Why don't you move?
He's going to slowly lose some time to Willstar, but yeah, some of these drivers are doing very well to try and get their way out of the way, I should say, to allow them to go on, and then that way they can continue on their battle as well.
And it's unfortunate, I suppose.
This is actually the battle for Chimperton and Jimbo battling for second in Yam. They have gotten out of the way, which is good, but yeah, the bit's a bit crazy there.
As Mac has joined us, Easy Mac, as is more affectionately known, says Evening Legends and Wilco.
I guess I must be a god then.
And Voodoo there has been blocked. His what's been blocked there? He's that's a terrible.
You've almost dug yourself to China, but now you're almost patient one.
That's a terrible place to be for Voodoo there. We hope he can unblock that very shortly on a Thursday night, because the weekend is coming up. And 11 and a bit minutes remaining in this one. And Sniper there moving out of the way. Distinct Andrew looks like he's carving them up. Sniper there with that's a very, very rainbow paddle pop livery. That is probably...
Yeah, that's a paddle pop sitting on top of a lifeguard.
Yes, there we go. That's a interesting visual, isn't it? But there we go. Distinct Andrew just melting. Imagine that, but in the summer sun. But Distinct Andrew there. Matt Simmons. It's a lot warmer up in Brisbane, which is where he was born, of course, back in July of '89, but Wilco thinks it's a little bit weird I go with that sort of stuff, but just I don't know how that information lives in my head rent-free. It's incredible. But Matt Simmons saying, you're the people's champion, Wilco. That is very good praise from the top, if you don't mind. And speaking of praise from high places, Nismo in the chat, disappointing for him tonight. Chuck Norris, he will not be a happy Kiwi tonight over there in New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, we touched on that, sometimes it can just be not your night. It can sometimes be, you've struggled with the setup work. Yeah, definitely not the result we would have been looking for from the boss of Uncorp here tonight. But nonetheless, though, he did very well to keep going and push through as much as he did. And hopefully he can come back stronger next week.
And what about the boss? Just 100 bits. Make it feel better. They sure do, and that makes us feel better because we get 100% of that, don't we, Chuck? And Twitch gets nothing. And there we go. And thank you to the boss over there in New Zealand. And correction there, Matt Simmons was, well, I'm going to have to double check my sources here, Jason, because he's born in Adelaide in June of '89. Okay, then. That's interesting. That's not what I'm seeing on my sources. But anyway.
Well, obviously your little vision board of, what is it? Your little, now
we need the reading writing hotline in
shrine. That's what I'm looking for. The little shrine of Wikipedia. I'll be wrong.
Yes, the reading writing hotline. Do you remember those ads, Chuck? 1300 655 06. Let's we could ring that, couldn't we? I wonder if it's still active. There we go. And
Just show them the
Wait,
stream.
And let's
Wait,
have a look.
actually, hold. So what is it?
1300 6550506, and the reading
Right, I'm
writing.
calling.
Oh, hello. See if there's any answer.
Disconnected.
Your call could not be connected. Please check the number and try again, Chuck. Your call could not be connected. You know how it goes. Distinct Andrew leads. Will Star in second. Oh, my left leg's cramping up. Oh, I got a cramp. Oh, and
Oh, did I type it in?
No, that's.
Glenn McGrath. Wait, I think I might have typed the number in.
And
wrong.
Glenn McGraw. And how
I
good is
did.
he's
Wait.
really mastered the art of fast bowling, hasn't he? And Will Star in second there. But in all seriousness, Jason, where do we turn our eyeballs and attention to? Figo and Nick here as well are very close.
I don't know. I've got tears in my eyes. I don't know what's going on. But no, let's go through. Let's have a look at. Let's get everyone on stream over the next 2 minutes here. So let's look at Andrew's car. Let's go through the order. So Andrew P1. I'll let you take over P2.
Yep, that's okay. I just, sorry, I'll pick that up there. But you boys have lost it, and it's wonderful, says Matt Zimmer. I I haven't had the best night, I'll tell you. Boy, it's Mrs. B just...
Talking about not having the best night, Trev, I actually figured out that I typed in the number wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to try out this reading writing hotline all together for one last time. Are you ready?
Yep, we're ready. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's go. And,
No, you have reached the reading writing hotline.
It sounds depressing.
Please leave your name and your number and the area that you're calling from, and one of us will give you a call back.
Okay, cool.
and there we go. So no answer from the reading writing hotline there, but don't forget if you are struggling. And they're watching the stream 1300 6550506. It shouldn't be a live sentence, should it? So call up if you're having any issues. As Noodles there in P3, Vibesy getting out of the way as well. Where is Vibesy at the moment? How have you seen his race, Wilco? Started off okay, but he's an old school KRL boy, this one, from the old college of KRL, of course, back in the day. But disappointing for him tonight.
Yeah, he finished 10th last night in the GT2. Well, there. Maybe this perk that doesn't have propelling on it. Just might be a little bit too slow for him, but as I said, he's still in the top 20. We had 32 cars start tonight, so that's a good return. But yeah, just wanted to sort of go through the rest of the field here. Norm sort of had a bit of a quiet night. Someone these 30 seconds. That again, top 7 was really stretched their legs. Spawn doing a really good job in the fast, up in P9. And then you've got, Slow Polka, Shawnee Fuller was down the back, so he's come all the way from P30 back up to 11, so that's a really good drive by him. Vigo was down the back as well, so he's back up to 13. Kilroy's done alright, Mark has done pretty good. Sniper again, he was another one that was down the back, he's back up to 16th now. Viper's Ed was in that P8 position and unfortunately got taken out. And then the rest, let's look at the M class. P9, Jimbo P2 in 17th, and Chipper 10 in 19th, which is P3 in class. And then, the rest is sort of slowly spread out. Figo is having a battle with as well.
Machin and Hainsey have made contact. Sorry to cut across you there, Wilco. But and talk about timing. Look at the comments. Can Machin keep Hainsey behind him? Well, he almost didn't there on that occasion. Hainsey's been closing in, but Machin is a bit of a machine. I see what you did there, Aussie Racer, and Machin and Spawn absolutely smashing it in their respective classes. And you've got to say, they have gone above and beyond the call of duty here tonight. They are driving magnificently, Chuck Norris.
definitely have to agree. So something we don't really touch on too much, but I just want to give a friendly reminder in the final 4 minutes here. The white background where the number is symbolizes that you're a pro driver. The silver background is pro am driver, and the red symbolizes you're an am driver. And basically, all that does is we just class people in a bit of a bracket so that you've got something to work towards and a goal, and that way you can still win in your own class, respectively. Machin though, he's pro am and he's running P4, so
Yeah,
he's
he might be
doing
getting a bit of
really,
a boost
really
to his
good.
rating. I reckon he'd be
And Born
jumping
as
up
well as an AM driver, you know, definitely they've been coming out of the woodworks and they've been improving quite rapidly over the course of the season.
And there's no doubt about that. And they have just been ripping themselves out of the woodwork. Remember that silly termite joke from Bathurst a couple of months back? That was terrible. And that's all I needed. Look at that. Machin and Sport absolutely smashing in their respective classes, to which I replied, totally agree, Matt Simmons. In fact, when Matt talks, I just agree really in general. And then Maxi Naked Blade saying, gee, those Porsches sound good. And no arguments there. And Banana Josh, one of the banana benders there, saying one of them is going to bottle it between Machin and Hainsey. They almost did, heading into the Aqua Minerale. And Hainsey took some curb there.
Yeah, actually, his internet must have had a big spike there, because on my screen he bunny hopped over that curve then. So yeah, it was a bit weird. His internet's a bit funny, something, but. Yeah, he almost did a front flip off that chicane there.
Yes, he headed into, was it Austria, where after that update, Wilco, remember you just went through the track and...
Yeah, well, like, speaking of updates, we actually do have the Nords drop overnight for us for ACC, so yeah, it could be quite interesting, but again, these days you're not really that excited for ACC update because it always seems to break the game for about a week, so hopefully it's not too bad. And we can get racing at Nürburgring weeks. Running the GP version next week, which sort of works out really well. So the boys I can leave the lobby up as Nords, and if you want to keep practicing the GP track, you just keep doing the GP track and don't actually drive on the Nord.
And yeah, I'm just working through that one, but I can tell you, of course, the frustrating thing living in Australia or New Zealand, of course, is that everything's released overnight, isn't it, for us? And time to go see the checkered flag. Should cost under $20. Thank you to the boss, Nismo Nath there. Should cost under 20 AUD. That's is that just for the track, Wilco?
Yeah, but it's a big track trip.
It's $2 a kilometre or something? No.
I think it's a bit less than that.
Oh, there we go.
What is the actual distance? I know there's like 170 people.
Yeah, there's a lot of corners, but Nords is about 26, 27 kilometres.
There you go.
There we go. Still cheaper than petrol, isn't it, per litre? But as Matt Simmons says, Hainsey trying to cut the chicane. And Aussie Racer saying they're both pushing hard, been racing with Matcha for a few years and they won't give up easily. And haven't tried Porky Pig yet. And I believe that skill is required. And Nord's releasing on console around 2 a.m. tomorrow. That is just breakfast time, isn't it, really, for Chuck? But he'll be up and about for that one. 6 laps in 60 minutes around Nords. Anyway, we'll get back to those comments above because Hainsey and Machin on the last lap with just seconds to go. Jason Wilkinson from Carrum Victoria. Look at this. Who is your money on here?
I think Machin should be able to hold on as we keep an eye. Here we go. This pretty hard defending. I thought he's going to try and do with the Chris Scott at the inside chicane here. Can he do it? He's going to go around the outside. Can he hold it on? Machin's going to have to... No, he's got him. Well done. Great move there by Hainsey there. So he forced the mistake, forced the cover into the second chicane, made Machin's line sort of be compromised through there, and then got him on the exit of the chicane. So let's go to Andrew going through the last corner now to take his second win in the second race. So yeah, 2 from 2.
It's going to be 2 from 2 for this man, the 26 BMW. He has been class all night. Hands together for Maxi Naked... Hainsey, thank you, Maxi Naked Blade. Got him on the brain at the moment. He crosses the line to win this race. Will Star, just 2.9 seconds in the end, but here comes Noodles. across the line to take a solid podium finish for him. And then MC Hainsey and Matchin, it is on like Diddy Kong here at the moment. Hand claps all round emojis. And Hainsey, is he going to keep this position? I want my points back, but he could have a run on him here out of the final corner, Wilco. Look at this.
Not quite. Sorry, not quite. But yeah, Hainsey takes 4th. Matchin in 5th. Sidog sort of had a pretty quiet night. Again, he wasn't really going to be racing again until late. So it's Simon in 6th, Norm in 7th. They got a big gap back to someone awesome. Al, he's nearly got sideswiped by someone there, but someone awesome in P8. Bourne only 2 seconds behind P9, so that's really good. Still a few boys cross the line, so we'll let them cross the line first.
Yep, they're still racing. Maxi saying, congratulations, Andrew, on a flawless victory. And Jackery there behind him, but that's Stewie Wilson ahead of him. This league is fun, says Banana Josh, and I can't say I disagree with you. In fact, quite the opposite. This league is fun, and we hope you're enjoying this league. And the turnout, Wilco, is incredible, as a few boys still racing here. Oh, Shawnee Fuller and Figo to the line. Zoom. And look at that. Well done to Andrew. I wanted that fastest lap real bad. And Will I Am there saying that solid drive for Match and mixing it with the pro drivers. But basically the message I'm getting, Chuck Norris, is that this league is fun and people love it.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more, Trev. You know, I was one of those people. I came into KRL many years ago, maybe back in 2018. I think maybe 2017, but I think closer to 2018. I came into KRL myself as a newbie and worked my way through the ranks, and now I'm in the commentary box. So, you know, it's crazy how time flies. But if you guys too want to get involved here with KRL, or even the endurance series that we host as well, use ! Discord for the weekly series, ! Endurance for our endurance series.
And you can see there, great racing there, great night, great race. Enjoy the weekend with Nords, boys. I'll see you for round 4. That is Matt Simmons, and I've just jumped on the chat there and said, please don't leave me. Then I've accepted it a little more now, and I said, please pat Hank for me. And there we go. Someone awesome there. Wowza, what a race. P20, finished P8. Could be your driver of the day. Do you want to be like Chuck Norris and just sort of really get involved in this league and then end up in the commentary box like Martin Brundle style? And there we go, done. Hank said thank you. Thank you to you too, Hank. Solid last stint there, mate, said Matt to Will. Another great event. Well done, admin and drivers, if I can just speak English there. And all the drivers are coming in. And they're coming in to have a chat. I think we might start with the chatting to some of our drivers here, Chuck Norris. We have the winners for each class in for an interview as the boys still doing their thing in the chat. But Distinct Andrew is joining us. And Andrew, have you got us there loud and clear?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
And we're hearing all sorts of words coming through the chat. Big fans of yours coming in the chat here. Words like masterclass and entertainment and masterful masterclass performance are some of the words we are hearing in the chat. Talk us through your race, mate. A perfect start to the year for you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, started off on the right foot, able to get pole position. I knew it was going to be a tough race when I saw how close Will was. I think it was less than half a tenth, if I remember. So I knew he was going to be a big threat and very difficult to hold off. Thankfully, I actually got the start right for a change, which made it a lot easier. And then he got held up, I think, for a lap or two behind Noodles, which sort of gave me about 2 seconds worth of breathing room. And I was sort of holding it relatively comfortably. And then I had a little moment. I don't know if you guys actually caught it or not. I think it was in the second chicane where I got a really bad bounce off a curb, so I bar hard through the grass and through the dirt a little bit. But other than that, no, I think it was a really good race. There were no real major errors. There were a few little moments here and there, but every time I would make a mistake and lose 2 tenths, the very next lap, Will would do the exact same thing. So it was just toing and froing. And to be honest, I thought that was going to be a race at track position, and I think that's really what it turned turned out to be. The lap traffic was up until the last 10 minutes. Lap traffic wasn't too much of a problem, but the last 10 minutes, we come up on a group of I think maybe 4 or 5 cars, and they saw us eventually, but they slowed us down a little bit, and it wasn't just me; they slowed Will down as well. So I don't know if maybe you could have got a bit closer if that hadn't have happened. I think he was a little bit faster than myself, but as I said, with the track position advantage and being able to have like a 2 to 3 second gap, essentially it was just sort of run in the mid-high 41s. Anytime I saw him try and pick the pace up, I could respond on the next lap because you have the room to do so. So it's, as I said, it was really good. Don't think there was any real major issues from my end. So happy to get another one, and we'll go again, see if we can make it a hat trick for round 3.
And how are you feeling heading into next week, mate? I think we're at the Nürburgring for round 3 of this championship, looking to make it, a hat trick to start the season, mate. You must be absolutely loving this new season of KRL.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than what I first expected, to be honest. Because up until I joined KRL, really, I've only done 2 actual like proper ACC online races. So still sort of not new, but still understanding how certain things work. But Watkins Glen itself was the most fun I've had in terms of a race in a long time, and that backed it up as well. So hopefully round 3, wherever it is, Nürburgring, or if it's somewhere else, I can't remember the calendar off the top of my head, but hopefully that trend can keep going and we can have some good racing, and hopefully we'll get another one, but we'll have to wait and see.
Looking forward to it, mate. Beautifully summed up, and it's an absolute pleasure, mate. I know you just jumped across to ACC, but you're doing absolutely magnificently, mate. Appreciate the time. We know it's not easy post-race, of course, but always a pleasure, mate, and we'll catch you next week for, it is the Nürburgring, of course, Wednesday, Thursday night next week. Thank you.
Oh, good, mate. Nothing's too difficult. Anything for you, Trev. You know that.
Yes, just stop. Hope Simon's not listening. But anyway, thank you, Andrew. Simon might get a little bit funny with that, but anyway, I'm blushing now. But we move along to our race winner, Matchin. And here's another man who's just absolutely killing it there tonight, if you don't mind. But Jimmy, have we got you there on the line?
Yeah, here, guys. How you going?
Mate, boy, you're also getting lots of love in the chat. Hand clapping emojis and great drive matching and matching the machine and machine matching and you name it, Terminator, all the rest of it, whatever you want to call it. But talk us through your race tonight, my friend, as thank you for that, race control. But talk us through your race tonight, mate. Absolutely fantastic drive from you here tonight at Imola.
Yeah, so started somewhere I didn't really expect to be up on the second row, so that piled a few nerves on first up. Got away pretty cleanly. I think the whole field got away pretty cleanly again tonight, same as last night. And I managed to hold my own for a while there. Had Side Dog breathing down my neck for the first stint, and I wasn't sure if he was going to take tyres or not in his pit stop, so I decided not to do that and ended up jumping Hainsey, and then he was breathing down my neck for the second stint. So I was sweating the whole time.
Well, I tell you what, given all of those factors that you mentioned about people breathing down your neck and the sweat involved, I tell you what, you absolutely killed it tonight, mate. A terrific race. You took a win in your class and really showed some of the other boys who's boss. So thank you for that. Fantastic stuff. Thank you for joining us, Match, and we'll catch you next week for round 3 at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
Great work. And that is our winner there. And Spawn Racing now, who's joined us in the commentator's box here in the post-race driver press conference. Spawn, have you got us there loud and clear?
Mate, I've got you.
Fantastic stuff. That is terrific. But talk us through your race, mate. A win in your class and really driving out of your own class there, you should say. But, mate, talk us through it.
I actually did sign up as a Pro-Am. I'll take this win. I just wanted to come and say good day to you. But I should move up to a Pro-Am runner. yeah, but I had a good race. I ran a PB in qualifying, and yeah, it went a lot better than what I thought. I kind of just got comfortable and got in a groove. Kilroy was giving me a lot of pressure there for the first half of the race. And then, yeah, towards the end, it was pretty good. I had a couple of battles, and yeah, a couple of the blue flag fellas were a bit ordinary towards the end, but it was all good. Finally got through, and we'll move on and see how we go next week. See if I can stay up here.
It's going to be a hard act to follow, mate, but you took the win in your class, driving beautifully tonight. There was a bit of traffic there, wasn't there, towards the end? I think we saw that on stream as well. But thank you for joining us, taking the time out post-race, mate. We'll catch you next time around. Congratulations on the win tonight.
No worries, fellas. Thanks for everything you do. See you next time.
Great stuff. KRL is alive and well for season 6, Chuck Norris. And hearing the comments in the not just in the chat, but on Discord, it seems that we are doing something right, because if you stream it, they'll come along and race, and they're absolutely loving it. Everybody, in fact, is loving KRL at the moment for season 6 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Trev. And I'm getting a little bit of FOMO. I've been getting into my own league season recently as well, and it makes me miss my KRL roots that I kind of grew up in, you could say. So it's great to see everybody coming out strong in a good force and showing what they're made of over the course of this season so far. Week 2 done and dusted for the GT2s, GT3s. I'm looking forward to Nürburgring next week, but I've got a feeling a lot of these boys are going to be putting in a lot of Nords laps over the coming days.
And yes, they will be. That is coming out at whatever time you said it was, Chuck.
Around 2 a.m. Victorian time.
2 a.m. Victorian time. 1:30 for Chuck Norris. A little bit earlier for Perthwegians, and a little bit... I'm getting confused, but thank you, everybody. We're going to start saying our thank yous here, as Will.i.am says, doing it all right, legends. And this is the sort of feedback we need to pass on. A special shout-out, too. I think we lost him somewhere along the line, but Andrelli, who the hype train has just... Oh, my goodness, it's happening again! Mrs. B, it's happening again! Wow, look at this, the hype, and your limited time to earn exclusive emotes. We might be on air for a little bit longer. Oh, they're coming again, Aussie Racer and Drex and Captain Risky, the insurance specialist, Chipperton and Immortan Nick. LOL, and we're not leaving until... Oh my goodness me, they're coming in thick and fast. But Wilco, as I try to stay focused, not sure why I made these alerts so loud. My goodness, the train is leaving the station, Maxi. Tell you what, how often do you take your smoko breaks? We might time these streams around you, Maxi Naked Blade. But that is a wrap here, Jason. Thank you for joining us again for round 2, Wilco. Thank you for putting everything together.
No, all good. Thank you, everyone, for racing. Again, pretty clean race again. And again, thank you to our sponsor, Maxi, there. Thank you for the subs. But yeah, stay tuned. There might be a sneak stream tomorrow, or tomorrow night, I should say, with us three and another mate shooting some people out of cannons and playing some Sea of Thieves. So
Hardy Hardies, we're going to go plunder the building.
Should be. If you like the stream tonight and the got up to, you're going to love tomorrow night, I can tell you that right.
Well, basically what Wilco's trying to say, despite the fact he keeps cutting out through his Discord connection. And there we go. Talk like a pirate, Dave, if you don't mind. Train leaving the station. Toot, toot, tickets, please, says Maxi Naked Blade. I think we're going to officially call this the Maxi Naked Blade pre-race and post-race show. Imagine a post-race show. We all gather around, turn our webcams on and have a good old ding-dong. But thank you, everyone, for your support. We greatly appreciate you. Please also consider following if you haven't already. And there you go, if you haven't already. I'm sure they all have. Great race, all the lads in the box. Fabulous, says EXO. And big shout out, what does that say? To the commentators for commentating the race. That's what commentators...
about 20 minutes of the race. But
and there we go. That's what commentators do. They commentate. And Tater's going to tate, haters going to hate, and commentators are going to commentate. But that's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. We will leave you now. Be kind to one another. We'll see you
tomorrow.
next time for the Nürburgring, possibly sooner tomorrow if we're going to talk like pirates. But be kind to one another, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.